Okay, the message for you today is your ex is dreaming of you. All right, now, even if you've moved on, you've kind of looking for closure, but they are dreaming of you. They're feeling trapped. Okay, they're very, very trapped, massively trapped, to the point I'm hearing to tell you that when they go to sleep, that even in their dreams now, you're there. Okay, the underlying energy that came out with them is they are massively bored where they are. Okay, they're so bored they can't pretend anymore. All right, there's something they moved on to that, you know, they're just frustrated, they're weary, and they're fantasizing. Okay, I feel today the message is during the day they're bored, they're trapped, they can't see a way out, but they're also daydreaming about you, but it's now going into their night dreams. Okay, you know, in a nutshell, you're living in this person's head day and night. So, you know, they're just bored. They're very, very, very bored. But more than that, they feel like they're being silenced as well. I'm getting an energy of them being silenced, that they can't come forward or they can't speak their truth. So I'm going to go deeper into that. All right, I want to know more why you're in their dreams at night, because I feel that you've been trying to break this connection, or you've possibly broken it, but you're still very energetically connected in today's message for you. So I'll give these a shuffle. Just while I'm shuffling now, I hope you're well, I hope you're okay, and you're having a good day or a good evening wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and your comments and your likes and all the support. It's really kind of you. If you'd like to see more of this content, if you're new here, just hit the subscription bell, that would be brilliant. And if you'd like a reading, just click on the title of the video. The links are, I'm going to take that one. The links are in the description box, okay, to the website. All the readings are on there, and also check out the free relationship report as well. That word relationship, I jumped those words. Ah, dear. They're silenced. Why are they silenced? Why are they silenced? They feel that they have dug themselves such a big hole that they are now duty bound to stay in said hole. All right. They've resigned themselves to their situation. Okay. You know, I'm getting to say to you that they've resigned themselves so much to the situation, and they're feeling so frustrated, so bored, so bloody fed up. I just heard, excuse my language, but I just heard I'm bloody fed up. Okay, that now what they're doing is they're fantasizing, they're daydreaming about you in the day, just to make their day feel easier. And that's why you are now, your energy is now in their nighttime dreams as well. Okay, so they're resigned to their fate. Can you give me anything else on their environment? Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords, you know, can be a classic card of someone is awake all night, massive anxiety. But it's also an energy of somebody is, you know, you are rent-free in their head. You really are. They haven't forgotten you. They feel guilty. They feel ashamed of themselves. They have for a while pretended that they're okay. They've been wearing a mask. They feel very alone. Nobody knows how much they miss you. They haven't been able to tell anybody how much they miss you, okay? They can't tell people. I feel that's where the silence is from. They're in an environment they don't feel like they're part of. They're there, you know, like I'm sat here, physical, but they don't feel like they're in the environment. They're there, but they're not there, okay? But the Nine of Swords, There's gossip surrounding them. I've got the 8 and the 9 here, so I'm going to have a little look at that gossip. I'm curious about that. But they're just so unhappy. They're at breaking point. And when they're not dreaming about you or thinking about you in the day, they can't sleep. You know, they've kind of got insomnia. And you know why? Because they can't see a way out. They can't see a way. But there's always a way out. The Swords cards are always about the mental, you know. And I think we can all do it. Where we just ruminate and ruminate. And our mind convinces us, you know, as you know, if you watch me regularly, I always say your thoughts create your reality. The mind, if you don't actually shut it up and tell it to back off, it will always tell you can't do it. Because the mind's job, you know, scientifically, is just to keep you safe. It wants you safe. It doesn't want you to take chances or risks. So your ex has got themselves so stuck in their head that they just resign themselves. Okay? Can you tell me gossip? Gossip. Right. I just saw the Lovers in reverse. There's possibly another relationship they're in that has gone pear-shaped. Okay, yes. Again, another sword card. It's the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So there is an element here of somebody, they are frightened that somebody will tell lies about them if they contact you. You know, that's it really, very simply put, not elaborating, just to the point. Somebody will tell lies, will tell untruths, or will create some form of hostility. If your person goes into the Ace of Swords in the upright, which means they're coming in, they're being truthful, there's clarity, there's no confusion, okay? But they're frightened of the gossip, and they're also frightened. You know, I feel that your person isn't always the strongest person. I hope you don't mind me saying that, but I don't feel they're always as strong as they could be, because it's almost as if, and I think you know this, and you know that they still care about you, and you know deep down that they still miss you, but they haven't got the balls to do anything about it. That they'd rather resign themselves to a fate of just, you know, when you just get up every day and it's like Groundhog Day. Okay, that's the energy they're in, Groundhog Day. So they'd rather do Groundhog Day than make a break, because their energy is so restricted today. Their physical movement is restricted. And that's why you are in their dreams, because there's nothing within their environment that gives them any hope. So sometimes I'm hearing to explain it in a way that when you're in an environment and, okay, it's not brilliant, but there's something that you can hang your hat on, you know, something that might, you think, well, I can keep going because at least I've got this or I've got that. But your ex hasn't got any of that. They are literally bored out of their tree. Okay, they're just so bored. You know, they're in the Four of Cups energy. You know, the Four of Cups came out and they're just absolutely bored out of their brains. You know, they don't want to be where they are. And they're just spending their day daydreaming and fantasizing about you. And then because you are literally buried in their brain, they're dreaming about you at night as well. Okay? They're not interested in the people around them. Okay? They feel very guilty for what they did to you. They feel very guilty for putting another situation before you and refusing your kindness and the offer that you made. And they pushed you away, okay, because they thought that, you know, something else was better, but it was short-lived. It was short-lived. It was one of those situations where it's great to start with, it's exciting, it gives you the dopamine, all of that, but it's been very, very short-lived. And now all they've got are the memories of you. That's all they've got, memories. Okay. I just want one more card. Right, but Anna, this is positive. Okay, 7 of Cups. But it's come up in the reverse. So for me, this means they're going to realise, they're going to snap out. I've just moved my head then. They're going to snap out of this. They're very lethargic. They're going to snap out of it. Okay. They realise now, or they're going to. Sometime, this is going to be for me, end of August, September time, I feel that someone is going to suddenly start, I'm hearing the word sobering up. Now, sobering up doesn't just mean from alcohol, it could be, you know, if they've been drinking, that is going to be a point where they've realised that the answers aren't at the bottom of a bottle. But also sobering up for me means that as nice as it is for them to be in this sort of daydreamy, fantasizing situation, that they need to do something about it because Father Time is ticking. Father Time is ticking, you know, they've got to make a choice. Like I said, this is positive because, you know, they're in the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, their energy. You know, like I say, restricted, anxious, probably a bit depressed, emotionally empty, looking back at the past, spending most of their time just making up scenarios where you'll speak to them again. But they're going to realise that they have got options, and that's the key coming out of the 8 and the 9 of Swords, is realising that, you know what, it's in the mind, I can do something, and they are going to do something, okay? They are going to do something. Possibly what's been holding them back, the unknown, is the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, this means that they could be relying on somebody else. They've definitely made some poor choices, maybe financially, where they're living, their job. Okay, but they've put their energy into something that isn't paying off, okay? But there could also be just simply a lack of money, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Or, like I said, they're having to rely on something else, or they don't have a stability that they can physically get up and move. You know, when you sometimes want to move on or you want to do something but you haven't got the resources, you know, that's also in this energy. But I'm going to see what they'd like to say to you. Then I'm going to get my other tarot deck out and just see what the best possible outcome is. What would they like to say? I'm afraid to contact you. Yeah, that's it. 9 of Swords. 8 of Swords. The daydreaming. They really want to speak to you. They really want to speak to you. I hope that one day, I hope that you can forgive me one day. They do feel very guilty. Very guilty. Why do they feel? They're saying that they're not available. Okay. No, they're not. They're not. You know, everything that we've just been talking about, their energy certainly isn't available whenever you watch this video. You speak to me through music, so they're definitely listening to songs. Favourite song that you had. Okay. I'm also hearing that when you hear a song, okay, that you are telepathically communicating, because it's real. Telepathy is real. You know, I could sit here for the next 20 minutes. I mean, if anyone wants to know about examples of telepathy, I could give you absolutely zillions of them. but it's real, okay? Your thoughts create your reality, and whatever you think they're thinking about you and your situation will manifest. It will push out into what we call physical reality, okay? So let's see what the best possible outcome is, please, for this. Oh, beautiful. Wheel of Fortune, it flew out. Yeah, they'll come back in. Things are going to get moving. All right, I thought that when I saw the Seven of Cups in the reverse, that they're going to come out of this self-absorbed, resigned to my fate, victim, I can't do anything. Their luck is going to change, but also yours. You know, whatever you want, you will create it. So if this message is just for you, so I feel that it is kind of to explain why you're feeling their energy pulling on you. If that's all it is, but you're going to be fine with the Wheel of Fortune. You know, if you've been having some bad luck, or you felt very stuck or alone or lonely, you know, you've been healing. Sometimes healing isn't linear. Healing is not linear. Healing can be really difficult. You think you've kind of got yourself back on track, and then you can have a day or a week or even a month where everything just, all those old stories and all those old insecurities just bounce back at you, and you think, what on earth's going on here? Don't worry, okay? Now for me, Mercury's been in retrograde, not an astrologist by any shape or form, but this one has been a doozy. It's been a doozy. And I think it's due to shift soon. Okay, can't quote the dates, but it's, I think it might be the 11th of August, but I could have got that totally wrong. Probably have got it wrong. Your luck's going to change, okay? With regard to your ex, if you want them back, they're coming back, okay? You get to create. They have no free will. They have no free will. It took me a long time to work that one out, okay? But they don't have any free will. So let's just give you a very quick message before we wrap this up. Okay, bottom of the deck, I'm going to take this one. Love this deck, so I'm going to read it to you. Romance blooms and you find yourself falling in love. Gifts of flowers, love letters and poems. Okay, marriage proposals, weddings and a past life or a past person connections are all possible. There may be someone new who is romantic, dreamy and emotional, or a past person. Okay, so yeah, you've got love in the cards, all right? So you get to choose, and just remember, you're perfect, you are always chosen, you're irresistible, irreplaceable and totally unforgettable. Keep telling yourself that. Honestly, 30 days of self-concept work, even if you don't want this person back, you choose, and you are the best, and you are the god, the goddess, you are all of it, okay? And anybody who's in your company is blessed to be with you, all right? You're magnetic. Please remember who you are, okay? I love you very much. Take care and just glow, okay? Just glow, all right? I'll speak to you soon. Bye.